Welcome back to Team Fast Eddy and HPI Baja Tutorials.com. This tutorial is going to go over page number 31 of the HPI Baja SS manual, and we're going to build the transmission box in this segment. At this point, let's go ahead and grab your parts bag number 85430, and that's going to contain your gearbox halves as well as a few other parts that we're going to be needing. Let's go ahead and open up this bag and remove the tree and go ahead and dump out any other parts that might have come loose in there. We're going to go ahead and use everything that's in this bag, so you can go ahead and discard the rest. There are two pieces here, which are the 85430-3, which are loose in my bag, and they're little braces that we're going to have to slip inside the case to aid in mounting the transmission box to the chassis. We're going to go ahead and later on, before we get going, clean off all of the tree spars on here. Go ahead and remove the two transmission halves, and then we have half one and half two. And there are two other parts on the tree which actually we are not going to use, so you can go. Just a little addendum: you do not want to discard part number 85430-5, which is this little cap. We are going to go ahead and use that in the build of the tree you would like. And again, we're going to go ahead and clean off all the spars, the tree spars, and rough edges on the box before we put it together. Go ahead and grab your bag F. We're going to go ahead and open up bag F and all the contents of bag F, because we're going to use most, if not all of them, in this step. So let's go ahead and open it up and take inventory here. First thing we're going to pull out is some heavy-duty grease, and we're going to use that on the gears and also on the dog bones in a following step. So let's go ahead and open that up and put that into our parts tray. Also inside of bag F, we're going to take out the lay shaft, and it's a heavy steel shaft. Put that in your parts tray. There's another bag that contains your brake hex, as well as some pins and clips and screws and nuts, etc. We're going to go ahead and open this up and place it into our parts tray. Just going to dump it out, make sure that you have everything out of the bag and there's no loose parts left. The last bag contained within bag F is going to contain some bearings as well as the gears for the transmission. Again, we're going to go ahead and open up this bag and dump everything out into our parts tray. If you are using the Team Fast Eddy Pro Series bearing kit for the build, this is a great time to go ahead and open up the kit, and let's swap out the bearings. We're going to take the two mid-size bearings, and we're going to go ahead and swap them for the Team Fast Eddy bearings. Put the old ones back into our reusable case, because you never know when you may need them. And then we are also going to grab the other two bearings that are located in there, and we're going to swap those out with the Team Fast Eddy Pro Series bearings. Going to go ahead and shut the camera off, and we're going to clean up all the tree spars off of our parts, and we'll be right back, and we're going to go ahead and build the transmission. Our first step is to go ahead and grab the 4 bolts out of our parts tray, and we're going to go ahead and simply, like we have many other times, insert them into this into our parts. There's going to be 4 of them, 2 of them on each one of the braces here. So we're going to go ahead and put the nuts in here, and we're going to go ahead and repeat the same process on the second one. If they don't seat down in firmly, just like we have in the past, use a pair of pliers so that they set down all the way in there properly and don't fall out. We're going to go ahead and set these parts to the side. We'll be using them a little bit later on in the tutorial. Let's go ahead and grab the lay shaft out of your parts bucket and lay it down. And we are also going to need the silver cross pin. There's two cross pins in here. One has a threaded end on it and one is a very simple silver cross pin. We're going to use the silver cross pin in this step. And go ahead and grab the thickest of the two gears. So you can see there are two gears and one of them is smaller and thicker. Actually, they're both pretty much the same thickness. I guess this one is a little bit thicker, but we're going to grab the smaller of the two gears and we're going to use that in this step. Let's also go ahead and grab the small C-clip. And the last piece that we're going to need is the short stubby bolt, which is this one right here, which we're going to use in this step as well. So let's go ahead and set all 5 of those parts aside and we're going to go ahead and reassemble them. Go ahead and pick up your lay shaft, and on your lay shaft you're going to see that there is one end that has a flat spot on it and the other end is rounded and then also has a little groove all the way around. We're going to be working on the rounded end with the groove. Go ahead and grab your cross pin, and there is a hole that's located in the shaft. We're going to go ahead and slide the cross pin into the shaft. Go ahead and grab your gear. It's actually the same on both sides, so you don't have to worry about which way you're putting it on. Go ahead and slip it over the end of your shaft and make sure that the pin lines up. See if we can get a good angle on here. Pin lines up with the cross hatches on the gear, and go ahead and slide it all the way on. Now we're going to use the little screw that's in there, and let's go ahead and get out our Allen wrench, and we're going to put an amount of Loctite because this is a metal connection. Let's go ahead and put some Loctite on there, and we're going to insert this down through the center of the shaft, and that's going to hold the pin into place that's securing our gear. So let's go ahead and put that in, and we'll snug it up nice and tight, just like so. Go ahead and you can hold on to the gear. Go ahead and tighten it down as tight as you can get it. The last step on building the lay shaft here is going to be to take your C-clip, and that C-clip is going to go into the little groove just above the top of the gear. And we'll see if we can do this in front of the camera without shooting it across the room. I'm going to go ahead and lay it on there, and I'm going to grab my pliers and I'm going to open them up to the wide position, and we're going to go ahead and see if we can get this on the first shot. There we go. It slipped right on. Go ahead and rotate it around a little bit. Make sure that it's properly secured. At this point we've put the gear on the lay shaft. We have the pin to secure it, and then we've also put the set screw in so that the pin does not fall out. Let's go ahead and set the lay shaft to the side, and we're going to use it here in just a little bit.